I'm about as real as they come.
All my beats tailored by Joe.
House Digital.
Maserati Rick in Detroit, convertible bird in Miami. Graduated summa cum laude, strip club made a tsunami. Carlton Hines with the ball game, Grateful Edmonds with the snowflakes, Craig Pettis in the M-Town, Sal Magluta with the boat game, Falcone with the cocaine, like Freeway Ricky with the plug game, like Monster Cody in South Central, Larry Davis from close range.
A few weeks ago, the police in Detroit, Michigan, broke a huge crack ring. And I'm sorry to say, the ring was being run by two people from my state. They came from the poorest part of Arkansas, and they had brought over 100 young men up there to help them peddle dope in the big cities.
They are called the Chambers family.
Detroit and federal narcotics agents have been piecing together a family tree.
Incredible arrogance that led them to make their own home television videotape movies.
No matter how rich and powerful the Chambers may be, their dynasty is starting to fall. On Detroit's east side, I'm Chris Hansen, Channel 7 Action News, reporting.
Money, money, money. Is that going to be on that tape, what I just said?
Everything will be coming in at 6:30.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
That's what time
this
it'll be there, then.
is the dining room. Excuse me. This is the living room, not the dining room. This is a 24-karat gold faucet.
Money, money, money. We rich, damn it.
They came from the poorest part of Arkansas, and they had brought over 100 young men up there to help them peddle dope in the big cities. When I think of that county they came from, 20% unemployment, 50% unemployment for black teenagers. It's not enough just to say no to drugs. These kids have to be able to say yes to life. They have to be able to say yes to life.
Yo, you know what it is, your boy Popalot. We back, Mobb, ties, on our way to Arkansas with it. We're going to take a trip to the D to get some money. Now, upon doing research for these guys for this episode, if I ain't know no better, it would have been easy to get them confused with the Chambers brothers that were George, Joe, Lester, and they also had a Willie Chambers, which is going to be the famous band from Chicago that had a hit in 1968 called The Time Has Come Today. But the big difference between those Chambers brothers and BJ, Larry, Otis, and Nat Willie Chambers is the time was now for them in 1989. Them niggas left Arkansas in the mid-80s and pretty much went and got money in Detroit because they knew the effect or the money. I don't want to say they knew the effect that the drug had on that area. They knew the amount of money that was in that area for real. It's largely referenced that the 1991 film New Jack City and the character Nino Brown and his associates were largely based on the real life Chambers brothers. I want to say Larry ended up getting life. One of the brothers ended up getting life. I want to say BJ came home not too long ago. They was bringing kids from Arkansas to get money with them in Detroit. It ended up getting real out there. They had a bunch of spots. A lot of dudes are like the corner store of the crack game. These niggas was going to be the Target. They was going to be the Walmart. They was going to be the franchise of the crack game. They had a set of 10 crack commandments, or maybe not even 10. I want to say it was more, pretty much like rules that they would live by when opening up these crack houses, because they had like some big, if I want to remember right, I want to say they had like an apartment building where it was different. It was structured by what you was getting. You go to a certain floor, so if you needed 5, you would go to the first floor. If you needed 10, you would go to the third floor. If you was trying to get a 50, you would go to the 7th floor on some shit like that. So they were real entrepreneurial with trying to get this money. I ain't gonna give up the whole story. We're about to get into it. Your boy Popalot, Mobb ties.
The Chambers brothers were a criminal organization heavily involved in the distribution of crack cocaine in the city of Detroit, Michigan during the 1980s. The brothers, BJ, Larry, Willie, and Otis Chambers, became notorious nationally when the Detroit Police Department confiscated videotapes of the brothers counting their laundry baskets full of money, and flaunting their excessive wealth. If you knew the childhood Billy Joe Chambers left in rural Arkansas, you might understand the illegal drug trade held for him in Detroit. There were the hard, sweaty days of picking cotton, the outdoor toilets, the bleak future for black men in Lee County, the 6th poorest county in the nation. The family was so poor, his brother Larry remembers waiting outside the homes of white neighbors at dinner time. We'd have a bucket, and when they finished, they'd give what's left to us and we'd take it back home. That changed when the Chambers brothers realized their own American dream in Detroit. But instead of working in a car factory, as had so many Southerners before them, the Chamberses dealt crack, an illegal industry that gave short-term financial security to scores of workers. And make no mistake about it, the Chambers brothers were workers, among the tops in their field in the mid-1980s on Detroit's Lower East Side. Their business acumen helped them gross an estimated $55 million annually before 4 of them were sent to prison in 1989. Relying on countless interviews since then, including interviews with the jailed brothers, William M. Adler offers not only an excellent chronicle of the rags to riches to prison garb story of these particular entrepreneurs, but also a cogent explanation of the social and economic conditions in this country that make dealing drugs an attractive career choice. Perhaps what is most stunning and fascinating in Land of Opportunity is just how charming, ruthless and hardworking the Chambers brothers were, especially Billy Joe and Larry. Billy Joe Chambers came to Detroit in late 1978 at age 16, following an older brother, Willie, who had made the sojourn north years before. Later came Otis, who worked summers in the business while still in high school, and Larry, 12 years older than Billy Joe, who had spent several stints in prison for various felonies. Billy Joe initially attended Kettering High School and worked part-time as a janitor at the nearby Easttown Shoes. When family friends introduced him to the profits available by dealing marijuana, he opened his own dope houses. He began selling crack around 1984, as crack sales were starting to explode in Detroit. Larry Chambers, who moved to Detroit in 1985, quickly gained his share of attention because of his business savvy and his ruthlessness. It was Larry who formed the Wrecking Crew, a gang of enforcers who meted out physical punishment to opponents or thieving employees. Of particular note was Larry's operation at the Broadmoor, a 52-unit apartment building. People bought and smoked crack at the 4-story structure, bartering in sex, VCRs or cars. They were skilled entrepreneurs. They had every major business technique going for them, says William R. Kuntz, then chief of the Detroit office of the Drug Enforcement Administration. Eventually, a team of Detroit police and federal law enforcement personnel helped end the Chambers brothers' run. But Adler suggests that some of the team's tactics were possibly illegal, including the information placed on warrants. One can't help but finish Land of Opportunity wondering what corporations the Chambers brothers could have headed had circumstances been different. Sadly, they were that good. For more information, please follow the link below the video.